G'day everyone, welcome to my last day in Stockholm, Sweden. Now I thought while the weather's good because it's been absolutely atrocious since I've been here, it's easily the worst weather that I've had in this trip so far, so that's a point. For anyone wanting to come here in autumn, don't. And also for Australians that want to come here, do not come here until the Australian dollar improves, because Sweden, in particular Stockholm, is so expensive. Easily the most expensive place that I've been to so far on this trip, to the point where it's a rip-off basically. So wait until the Australian dollar improves until you come here. Now this morning I'm going to go for a walk down Drottning Garden Street, I think that's how you pronounce it, all the way down to Gamla Stan, which is the old town, and then the Royal Palace and the waterfront. So once again I'm just going to shoot for a little while, stop it for a little while, shoot for a little while, stop it for a little while. But being a Sunday, well, it's almost afternoon now, it's going to be quite busy, so to give you all a good insight into what the central Stockholm is like. Obviously Stockholm is a massive city, but this is the main thoroughfare, I guess you could say, pedestrian thoroughfare, down to the waterfront and through the old town. So let's go now and check it out. Alright guys, so as I said, we're right up the top end now of Drottning Garden Street, and look at the ground. I know it's probably not very interesting to you, but it's dry. I have not seen the ground dry for the last 5 days, so this is actually quite unbelievable, and it's a shame that it's quite nice weather, although not sunny. Haven't seen sun since I've been here either. It's a shame that I'm leaving today because I think the weather is probably going to get better from today onwards. But yes, as you can see, Sunday lunchtime now, afternoon, and it is busy. Probably not as busy as it gets at night time, especially last night I was walking down here and it's insanely busy, to the point where it's quite uncomfortable and quite slow moving because there's so many people. But right now, yeah, it's comfortable. But as you can see, this avenue is just lined with shops. Shops one end, gets more restaurants down the other end, and then we'll eventually get into the old town. So yeah, we'll keep on walking and see what interesting things that we can find. As you can see, like most other countries now, Stockholm or Sweden in particular, are getting into their Halloween. So with Halloween coming up, as you can see, a ghost hanging from the wires up there. But just incredibly busy. It's not my kind of scene. For some people love this, but yeah, for me this is just way too busy. Yeah, so I'll continue on for a little bit and see if we can find anything interesting, because right now it's just a shopping strip. One thing though, as I see it right now, one thing that I've noticed Swedish people love doing is lining up for shops. So if I owned a shop, I would put barriers like this outside it because you're guaranteed that people are going to line up in the barriers to get into your shop. It's ridiculous how many shops they have lineups for. I've never seen it like this anywhere else in the world. Especially the exclusive shops, where they only want a certain amount of people in them. My God, the lines outside of these shops is incredible. But it also tells me how much people are earning in this city. Like as I said, for Australians or anyone that is on the Australian dollar or below the Australian dollar, Sweden is out of reach at the moment. It's just way too expensive to travel here. Thank God I'm only here for 5 days, because yeah, my bank balance wouldn't be able to survive much longer. It is that expensive. But for these guys, and you see them all shopping, they've all got shopping bags, they must be earning quite good money here to be able to survive here, because yeah, the prices of things is ridiculous. Anyways, I shall continue on and I'll pick this up again in a minute. Now we're coming up to one area of the city centre now where I don't think they've got it quite right, and it kind of reminds me of Fed Square in Melbourne. There's also a square in Perth where they just don't nail it, and this is such a missed opportunity right here. They could do so much more, particularly with this space over here, especially on a Saturday. I don't know what happens here during summer, but on a Saturday where the weather is quite nice, there is, and it's in the city centre of Stockholm. Look at this. Such a wasted space. Even that building over there, like, boring. Boring. This should be the epicenter of the cities, of the modern part of the city centre, but yeah, it's just such a missed opportunity. It is actually really quite ugly, which is surprising for Stockholm. I know they're a classy person. I'm just wondering if anyone else thinks the same as I do. I'm not really sure. But yeah, missed opportunity. Do something better with this area, please, Stockholm. Alright, so we'll turn left in a minute down the street again, down to Gamla Stan, which is the old town. But I do like this building here. Ireland's city. It lights up beautifully at night time. They have done a good job of it there, so that's awesome. Another thing worth mentioning is you'll see these I'm going to call them lion bollards. They're to keep traffic out all over this walking area, but it's quite interesting that most of them are spaced too widely. Unlike these bollards right here, the lion ones along this whole stretch here are so too wide that you could easily fit cars and trucks up. Notice they're there to stop cars and trucks from entering these areas and driving through people, of course. But yeah, they need to bring them closer together, definitely. And on that topic, nowhere else in the world since, since China have I felt more watched than in Stockholm. The amount of police presence, the amount of security, other security forces, don't know who they are, but they're all carrying guns. The amount of cameras in this place is simply unbelievable. I don't know whether the local people feel that or not, but I definitely do. I feel like I'm being watched wherever I go. Sometimes it makes you feel uncomfortable because they often do stare at you and they follow your path where you're walking. It's really quite unusual. Whether they know that there's an imminent attack coming up, terrorist attack I mean, or what, I do not know, but it's definitely present and I can feel it a lot. And as I said, I haven't felt as watched since China, which is really saying something. So not sure whether the people here like it or not. I personally don't. They should probably be a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit less, perhaps. Less cameras, less present. But as I said, maybe they do know something's coming up and they're just waiting for it to happen and then they'll pounce. I'm not real sure. But yeah, that's two security things that I just wanted to talk about. But we're just coming up to some lions now. And it's at a crossroad of a street. Look how widely placed apart they are. It's just, yeah. I don't understand why they're so far apart if they're trying to stop cars and traffic. Anyways, let's get on to some positive things about this city, which is a little bit further up. So I'll stop it here now and pick it up again in a minute. Alright, so we're coming up to probably the most beautiful area of Stockholm City now. And it's this area just ahead of us now, about to go over the river to Gamla Stan, which is the old town. It is beautiful. It is so well preserved. It is incredibly old. But yeah, again, the most impressive part of this city is Gamla Stan. And just look back at Beautiful old building here as well. So we're just going to walk pretty much straight through Gamla Stan down to the Royal Palace. I was going to say Presidential Palace, but it's Royal Palace. And we'll have a look around there, have a look around down the waterfront, and see what interesting things we can find. But I'm just going to keep this rolling now as we go over this beautiful old bridge. There's plenty to look at around here, so we'll do a deep dive. You'll see on the other side of the bridge here how much rain we've had by how fast this river is flowing right now. Oh, look at that. There's a few bridges along this river, and then there's about the third one up there. There's actually kayakers practicing their white water skills because it is just flowing super fast. But beautiful surrounding area, this one. Okay, let's go up into Gamla Stan. Another thing worth mentioning is there's quite a few historic buildings under renovation in this city right now. Disappointingly, because this would be an incredible photo looking back over that bridge. But yeah, you'll find that there's a lot of buildings under renovation. Not sure when those renos are going to end, but yeah, just another, I guess, reason not to come here right now. Give it some time. One, for the weather to improve, so do not come here in autumn or winter. It's definitely a summer city. It's a city built on an archipelago, so there's thousands of islands that surround Stockholm city. But when it's raining and it's been misty every single day, it's just unattractive to sit on a boat all day and go around to the islands. It's just an uncomfortable, dreary, dark, bad experience. So wait until the weather improves, because this city would be incredible during summer, with all of the water, the canals, the rivers, the lakes surrounding this beautiful city. Let's take that back. Look at the river here, just raging, running so fast, so much water. So they have also done a good job of leaving signs here and there for you to read. So a bridge leading over to the royal stables is first mentioned in 1288. The present bridge was opened in 1904. It was widened in 1978 as an enclosed passage was added beneath the bridge to link Parliament with its offices. Once again, sorry about my voice. I'm still struggling with a cough at the moment. It's been about 3 weeks now that I've had a cold and a cough. Can't quite shake it, but I think it's at the end. So if you hear me clearing my throat, I do apologise. And this is Exhibit A of the police presence, but you'll see them quite often walking up and down the streets with machine guns. As I said, there's other security as well that they're not police, but they also have guns. So I'm not sure whether they're military or what, but huge police presence in Stockholm at the moment. That is the rear, I believe, of the Royal Palace. Yeah, it is. So we'll go around to the front of it. But first, we will walk up the main street of Gamla Stan. I'll stop it here until we get up to the good part. Alright, so as you can see, it's extremely busy. The Gamla Stan has a lot of side streets going off it, so I encourage you to, once again, go up every side street that you can, because you're bound to find some incredible things, like this beautiful old cathedral up here. And even if you don't find anything good, it's still an absolute pleasure to walk along these old historic streets. Oh, it's beautiful. Looks like we can go inside. I'll be surprised if you don't have to pay, especially for this city, but we'll see what we can find. Yeah. No sightseeing until 12:30. Yeah, righto. I will not disturb the praying. I'll just go out into this little area out here though. It's one of the, I'm going to call it a square of Gamla Stan, not the main one. We'll go to the main one shortly, but still really beautiful. As you can see, buildings everywhere under renovation. Gamla Stan it's on an island of its own. So as you saw, we just went across a bridge to get over to here, and then where we're walking to eventually is also water. So it's an island of an old town, which is really quite incredible and quite unique as opposed to other old towns in the world that are connected to perhaps modern cities. Whereas this one is totally disconnected from the modern city. It's all original and very, very old. And today, being a Sunday, very, very busy. And not raining, everyone's out and about as well. So to give you an example of the prices here for Australian dollar, I know I'm banging on about this a lot, but it is quite significant. So for an example, I have stayed 5 nights here in a hostel of 8 beds. For the same price, I probably would have got 3 weeks in, for example, Romania or even Poland in a private room by myself. That is the price difference between here and there. Also, the food prices are absolutely incredible. You go to get a normal restaurant meal, say pasta or a burger or a pizza or something like that, it's going to set you back easily, probably about 45 Australian dollars. I have seen burgers sitting around 30 Australian dollars. But yeah, most of the restaurants, if you want a sit down meal, whether a waiter or a waitress comes to your table, then yeah, you're going to be paying a lot. Hence why, since I've been here, I have eaten at IKEA 3 times. They're small meals, reasonably small meals, but they're super, super cheap. So that's an awesome kind of traveller tip, and I've noticed a lot of travellers going there, and a lot of families in general going to IKEA. IKEA in the city centre, the restaurant of IKEA is packed, simply because normal restaurants are just too expensive for anyone not either earning the euro or the local Swedish currency of krona, or as I like to call it, lek. So just an FYI. Alright, so we're coming out into the main square now. Not the biggest main square, definitely not. It's actually really quite small, but it is beautiful. And quite a few things to look at. Again, it's lined by restaurants. Beautiful old fountain in the middle here. One good thing about autumn being here right now is these old fountains are starting to turn green with the moss and lichen growing over them, which I like. I enjoy. Not sure if anyone else notices those things, but yeah, you got the Nobel Prize Museum just here. I haven't been in there. It is quite popular, but I opted to go to Vasa. I only really go to one museum per city, if that, and I opted for the Vasa Museum, which you guys can check out in my previous video. The most impressive museum that I've ever been into. It is incredible, so check that out on my previous video if you like, and you'll be blown away. But yeah, this is the square in Gamla Stan. Alright, I'll go back down in the main drag now, and we'll keep walking along down to the water's edge. Right, down back on the main drag again now, and I just thought I'll just show you a few of the shops that are along the way. Most of them are souvenir shops along this area, except for you got a good old 7-Eleven that's coming back into business in this part of Europe. But yeah, mainly souvenir touristy type shops along this stretch, which some people love if they're just coming to Stockholm and want to do some shopping and buy some souvenirs. Yeah, get on board. Really tiny shops. Nothing really attractive though, I must say. There's nothing pulling me to go into any of these shops and have a look. I know my mum definitely would would annoy both Dad and I if we were here together, and she'd be going into every single one of these shops, and she would thoroughly love it. So yes, it would be attractive for some people, but I say the main backpacker slash tourist would not be so into this kind of shopping. Just impressive views everywhere though. Just such a beautiful old town. Wherever you look, the alleyways are just amazing. And a great place to come at night time as well, particularly for bars and restaurants. And I'll focus on bars there because there's bars in this place everywhere. I've never seen so many Irish bars outside of Ireland than in Stockholm before. It's incredible. They are absolutely everywhere. But everyone knows that Irish bars are always good times. There's a licorice store there. So good being back in the land of licorice. Our fellow licorice lovers. It's not real common in the countries I've been to so far, but in Scandinavia they love licorice, and I totally forgot about that. I haven't been to Scandinavia for quite some time, and I forgot that they love licorice. But yeah, there's a whole shop of it there. Again, really expensive. I got about 4 bags or 4 items the other day, and it came to 25 Australian dollars, which is only about 12 euro. But yeah, for us it's double. So unfortunately I just grabbed whatever I thought would be nice. Another shop here, confectionery shop. Beautiful looking treats there. Yeah, as I was saying, I just grabbed whatever looked nice and didn't really take or pay attention to the prices at all, and it came in really quite expensive, but it was delicious. So sometimes you just got to do it. Right. I'll just cut it again here, and I'll pick it up again in a minute. Alright, so coming up to another mini square now. What a beautiful area. Cafe slash bakery here. Selling their treats, free samples there if you like. Always love a free sample. Pizza places, heaps of Italian restaurants here too. As with everywhere I guess now, Italian restaurants are everywhere. So this is kind of the end, as you can see, the end of the main walking passage through Gamla Stan, and the option now is to go up to the Royal Palace. So I'm going to walk up in this direction now. I won't film it because it'll be a little bit boring, and I'll see you guys again at the Royal Palace. So before we head over to the Royal Palace, I just thought I'd come down to the water here quickly and just show you the main waterfront of Stockholm, or one of the main waterfronts of Stockholm. The ferries leave from further on in this direction, but that is just where we came from. That's Gamla Stan there. Further on from there is the city centre, and this is the waterfront. As I said, it's an archipelago, so in my translation of archipelago is that it's a body of water with heaps of small and big islands in it in a relatively small area. So as I said, Stockholm itself has thousands of islands, all, well, you can get to all of them by boat, either via cruises. You'll see a lot of cruise boats along this waterway here, or actual public taxis, which are the same as buses but on water. So you can pay for them when you get on, or you can get a transport card to get on them, and they go off the island on regular occasions. But unfortunately, as I said, the weather has just been shocking since I've been here, so I haven't had the opportunity to get out onto any of the islands. It just hasn't been the weather to do that. So yeah, if I ever come back here, I'll definitely come back in summer, because as you can see, this city is made for summer. Even just the restaurants along here, they've done a real good job of activating this promenade all the way around. There's restaurants that go everywhere, or are everywhere. My English is terrible today, sorry about that. But yeah, so there's restaurants lining the waterway all along here, but over the last few days they have been empty because the weather's just been terrible. This gives you a really good look at the other side, and if you walk further along here, you'll come to all the day trip boats, the ferries that go off the islands as well. It is just such a nice area. Right, I'll walk along a little bit more up to the Royal Palace and recommence there. Right, a little bit further along now. I'm just starting this up because I just want to show you something. Never have I seen a culture so into their running. It's actually quite unbelievable. Like, you go out for a walk on a weekday around lunchtime, they all, and I mean pretty much all, I would say 80% of them, leave their offices not for lunch but to go for a run in groups. It's incredible. So this just saw that Sunday running group there, and it just reminded me of the sights that I've been seeing in this place. The running culture here is like nowhere else I've seen in the world. And you look around, you don't see any overweight people at all. Any overweight Swedish people, I must say. Obviously there's overweight tourists, but Swedish people, I have not seen one overweight Swedish person. They look after themselves so well. Their diet is really good, like the restaurants and the food that you can buy, you got normal supermarkets, it's all high quality ingredients. But yeah, they really look after themselves, so it's a great culture to get into or to live in if you want to live healthily, like probably nowhere else in the world that I've seen, to be honest. And that's just one of the ferries there going out to one of the islands. Right, so we're just along a little bit further of the promenade now, and just want to show you this area. Just over there there's no ferries there at the moment, but that's where most of the ferries depart from. And you can see I just can't get over how fast this water is moving. And that is the direction that we just came from. Just going to cross the bridge here now and film over the other side. And just a quick view of this side of the bridge before we head up the Royal Palace, which is just here. But this is where the kayakers were practicing yesterday, more so over that bridge over there. Plenty of white water for them to practice on. And also just another nice area to hang out. Like you can imagine this on a nice summer's day. This whole area would be beautiful on a summer's day. Clouds are slowly starting to break up now, but not quite enough for sun to penetrate yet. Right, we'll go to Royal Palace now and check it out. And the best view of the palace is actually on the other side of the road here. So let's start there. And let's just start with some negativity. This is the most ugly royal palace, presidential palace in general that I've seen anywhere in the world. It is so ugly. Yes, it's massive, it's got that on its side, but if I was a king and this was my palace and you see other palaces in the world, I'd be pretty disappointed. You can do tours inside. It's still an active palace for the royals. As you all know, I disagree with the whole royal kind of setup around the world. It shouldn't exist in my opinion. Some people love it though, so yeah, if you want to go for a tour of the palace, feel free to, but not my thing. I'm going to go over the road now and up those stairs just to have a look at the forecourt of this giant palace. Alrighty, over the other side of the road now. Let's go up these stairs and see what is up here. I haven't been up these stairs yet, so a little bit exciting. But unfortunately there's a gate up here with guards on the gate, so we can only go up to the gates. Beautiful gardens as expected, beautifully manicured. But again, pretty basic, pretty ugly. Fountains aren't even working. It's actually really disappointing. As you can see, got the poor old guards here, standing here for hours upon hours on end, for no real reason that I can see. Must be just changeover now. It is interesting that these guards though aren't as stuck up as the ones in London. They will actually communicate with you and have a look around when you engage with them. So yeah, feel free to ask them any questions. They're more than happy to have a chat about things. But that is the Royal Palace. I'll go around the corner now, just give you a bit of a side view, and from there I'll probably end this video. So I've just quickly come around to the rear of the castle now, or maybe it's the front of the castle, I am not too sure. But there's a changing of the guard about to happen soon, so I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit and capture that, or a little bit of that, on film for you guys in just a second. So I'll record when it starts. Alright guys, so that is what I call a changing of the guard with a free concert thrown in, so awesome. My only tip for that is get there early. As you saw, I was pretty much right at the front. I got there 45 to an hour early, if you don't get there early, you're not going to be able to see anything because there'll be a heap of people in front of you, and yeah, you'll basically be able to hear it all but not see a thing. So get there early. So now I'm going to go around to the front of the Royal Palace and walk up from there, and once we're at the top, I'll finish the video there. I'll see you there. Alright, just stopping here quickly. There's a good info board, short, sharp and to the point. The Royal Palace. Welcome to the Royal Palace of Stockholm, the official residence of His Majesty the King and the setting for most royal duties. The palace is a monument of cultural history and modern workplace combined. The Royal Palace is designed as a Roman palace in the Baroque style, envisioned by architect Nicholas Tesem the Younger. It was rebuilt due to a fire in 1697 that left the old castle 3 crowns in ruins and was completed in 1754. The palace is open to visitors all year round, blah blah. So, super old, 1697 the original one, then rebuilt in 1754. Really, really old. I love such old history, such old historical buildings such as that still exist today. So I'll just walk up to the top here, show you some cool other buildings on the side of the road here as well. Oh, there's a bus coming. Yep, they should not let buses or transport of any kind up here because that just ruins the whole place. As you can see, more renovations going on, more scaffold. So yeah, hold off on coming to Sweden for now, or Stockholm. That's a beautiful view down to the National Museum, which is just on the other side of the river there. So guys, that was a very short and sharp look into Stockholm, or the city centre of Stockholm. Obviously, as I said at the start of this video, Stockholm is massive. I've only focused on a very small area. It's the area that you will come as a tourist. It's a main tourist area. It's the most historical area. I know I've been quite negative on Stockholm at the moment, but there's some factors surrounding that. That's the Australian dollar is just too low to come here at the moment, so don't come here right now. Also, the weather during autumn is horrific. This is actually the first day, as I said, that it's been dry. So yeah, hold off a little bit. Maybe I reckon spring, summer would be the best time to come here. Particularly summer, it is made for summer, this city, so come here then. Other than that though, it has been good to come to Scandinavia again. I'd never been to Stockholm before, have always wanted to come here, so it's been good just to, I guess, touch this city a little bit. As of tonight, I am off to London, so my bus leaves the airport at 3 o'clock and my flight doesn't leave until 8 PM tonight, so I'll arrive in London at about 10 PM their time, which will be fun. Walking into a hostel when they're all asleep and I'm walking in waking them up. But anyways, that's all part of travelling, isn't it? Especially in these places where you can't afford rooms to yourself, so you go hostels. What else can I say? Stockholm, Vasa Museum. As you'll see in my previous video, it is absolutely incredible. And I've heard a few of the other museums in Stockholm are incredible also. So I encourage you to particularly visit Vasa. Your mind will be blown by the Vasa ship. It is simply amazing. And along with the other museums that I haven't visited yet, they are incredible too. And if the weather is good in Stockholm, get on one of these boats and go out to one of the islands. Unfortunately, in the 5 days I've been here, the weather has been terrible, so I haven't had the opportunity, but if I ever come back, I'll definitely jump on one of those boats. It is quite cheap, and yeah, it'd be awesome just to see outside of a huge city, which is Stockholm. Yeah, so that's about it, I think. Again, if you've got any questions about Stockholm, hit me up. Happy to answer any questions that I have, although I don't have many answers. I've been, not indoors a lot, but yeah, just been affected by rain, so I haven't seen as much as what I would usually on a trip such as this. And yeah, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. Every little bit helps. I'm in up to 3,000 people now, so I didn't think I'd get in 200, so 3,000 is quite incredible. So yeah, thanks all for following and subscribing and asking your questions. Continue to do that and share these videos also. As I said, every little bit helps, and if I can help people with their traveling, then that's what I want to do. Although, as I said, these videos are from my memories, but they're also to help fellow travellers coming to these destinations. They are a snapshot, they're a surface level walkthrough of the main tourist areas of the cities, towns and locations that I'm going through. So I don't go into depth, but they're videos of what you'll see as a tourist when you come here. So come here, check it out, and yeah, lost my train of thought. They were saying something, I'm not sure what they were saying. Anyway, they're gone now. Right, I'll end it there, a bit awkwardly, and yeah, not sure if I'll do any videos in London. I've been there before and it's such a big city. Nothing really stand out to video in my opinion there, but we'll see, who knows. You may hear from me in London. If not, you're definitely going to hear from me in other places in the UK. And then after that is Iceland, where you're 100% going to get a video from Iceland, because I love Iceland. I just wish it wasn't so far away from Australia, because it's incredible. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll upload again soon. Cheers. One last look at this beautiful area, beautiful scaffold, and the Royal Palace and the beautiful waterfront. Cheers guys, talk soon.